Hello, everybody.
Well, we're going to talk about that, Brett.
What a great entrance to the show today. We're glad that you joined us here on Inside Cornerstone.
We've missed you, man.
There's no need for an introduction. Maybe I'm the one
Let me
needs to reintroduce myself.
We've missed you. I missed you, man.
I won't ask why.
It's good to see you back.
Well, it's glad.
We need to have some fun, don't you think?
100%.
I think we could use some.
Well, it normally happens when we get together, and
we usually do.
But yeah, summer has had me all over the place, literally all over the world. I've been out of the country, back into the country,
and summer is flying by.
It's gone for me. I mean, blink, and I know this is our church show, but I was at SEC Media Days yesterday in Atlanta, and then came back, and then. Football camp starts in 3 weeks for everybody. Which is here, and so
we got high school football coming soon, right?
Yeah, they've been nonstop all summer. I mean, OTAs, 7-on-7s. I know the people tuning in to this show doesn't want to really hear all that, but the reason I've been gone is because I've been traveling a lot, and I think I'm back here for a while at least, and looking forward to this. And you and I talked about. Again, summer does fly by, and it doesn't matter. Like,
it always has done that, really.
We've all been in education our whole life, so it really goes by. And I was actually helping Kim at Jim Pearson move some stuff to another classroom because she's moving into another classroom for the first time in almost 20 years. And, you don't realize, and everybody goes, oh, the teachers get out for 3. No, they get out in May. In about mid-May, graduation's usually around the 15th to the 20th, somewhere in there. So teachers get out then, and they will get pretty much the month of June. But by July, after July 4th, they're back in their classroom getting ready for the school year. And then school starts back at the end of the month, really basically the first part of August. But the teachers go back a little earlier than the students. So, man, like when you break that down, if you want to say, well, teachers they don't get 3 months. They get maybe about a month and a couple weeks to really kind of do some things before they have to be back up there prepping. And I know people that aren't in education go, well, play me a song. They get a month off, But it's the way it's structured for education. Well, you're never really away from it.
They get paid for one less month if they're a month off.
That's exactly right.
I mean, there's that.
No, that's exactly what it is, too. So, anyway, didn't mean to go down that rabbit hole, but I'm glad to be back. And
we missed you.
Yeah, we missed being here.
We had some good guests from the church on and talked about some pretty neat things, I thought. But we missed you, of course.
Well, talk about, before we dive into some of the things that we're going to discuss, the attendance for the summer. I think, all churches, battle, attendance dropping a little bit because, again, it's the time for people to take vacations. And, we all know, especially around the week of the 4th, it's such a busy time at the beach and places because a lot of people take their vacation within those weeks. And so people are in and out, people coming and going. I know with our Sunday school class, we've had a few weeks off because we've just kind of taken a roll and said who's going to be here and who's not. And we didn't really want to start a new series when there were only going to be 3 or 4 people showing up.
Yeah, right.
So we're going to be back and ripping and roaring this coming Sunday. But
we've been real pleased with the attendance. It's been great. And one of the things that is remarkable to me, I know one particular service where a lot of people we knew were not going to be there, and there was a lot of stuff going on. We understood it, and I'm still trying to get my brain around it. So I get up there on the stage, and the stinking thing's full. I mean, I said, what happened? Because I knew that there was some missing at the beginning.
Sure.
It was visitors. It was close to 50-50. Members, visitors.
How about that?
I mean, that's a lot of visitors. So, I mean, speaking of the Arbor service, you're going to be hearing about some improvements there. We feel like the potential of that service with all the visitors that are coming is tremendous. And we're going to do some things. And it wouldn't be me. Technology, forget it, right? but we got some people though that are savvy to that, and they're going to make some improvements. And I'm going to tell you, the arbor service is fixing to take off. It's going to be. And we're going to do something to make it much more better on the live stream.
Nice.
Man, we got thousands of people watching.
Oh, I
us on
know.
live
I see
stream.
the number. I see the number.
Yeah, and you went on vacation. You watched.
I was watching. Yeah, I mean, we
so,
do. I mean, again, we have the opportunity. We were in Disney World and pulled the service up. So again,
and the quality of that is going to be really good.
That's really, really good.
Yeah,
and,
it is.
Again, the goal and one of the big time positives of technology is that you can go and reach people that otherwise can't be there physically in the building, and you can worship. And look, there's a lot of churches in the last 10 years that have been built off virtual pastors. I'm not a virtual pastor, but the pastor is.
Does that mean I'm not real?
Well, I guess.
Sure,
That's why I tried to correct myself. But virtually, the pastor comes to different locations. They may be in one location, but they're streamed to multiple locations.
Right. I know what you mean.
You know where I'm going with that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But that's the whole gist of it, is that, hey, you can be somewhere and still be able to attend. And I think that's 30 years ago, that wasn't a possibility.
That's fascinating. And I'll be the first to say that I was one that didn't place a lot of emphasis. I'm about face-to-face. How you doing? Hug your neck. Glad to have you today. How's everything going? You need me for anything? And but I've changed. Now, I'm a little born again on this technology stuff, because when I start looking at the numbers too.
Well, right.
And people are watching and paying attention. We've got considerable support from people out there watching the show that way.
Let me bring up something, and a lot of people will appreciate this.
Yeah.
I remember when the arbor was being built at our church, and there was no option to go to any service outside of the sanctuary. So grew up in the church.
Sure.
Really, from middle school on is when I started attending our church, and had attended Wayside Baptist really up until then.
I like that church. Yeah.
And then so moved over to the Methodist church, and have been here ever since. But I remember when the arbor was being built, and a lot of people were resistant. They just
really.
And it wasn't bad.
Well, it was new.
It was new, and it's like, hey, we're going to bring this new contemporary style service where
I understand what
you don't have to wear a suit or a polo shirt. You can come in shorts. You can wear a T-shirt if you want to. I mean, there's not really any set standard.
Yeah.
You just come as you are, like you hear in the song.
You can listen to the music from across the street.
That's exactly right. Absolutely.
Oh, and I know what they're saying. No, I don't like all that. I like this. I understand.
But I bring that up because over time everything changes, and so and naturally humans are resistant to change.
We all are. I am too.
When you have things that you're comfortable with.
That's right.
But I'll never forget, and I'll be honest with you. I mean, even though I was younger, because when that was being built, I was in college, and it was like, well, this is all I've ever known. I'm not going over there. And it's like,
and you're in college.
And I'm in college.
Yeah, right.
So, but I'll tell you this, once I attended one service there, and it has nothing, not a knock on the sanctuary. It's two different styles.
Sure.
It's just, man, the music was so awesome, and the laid backness, I guess, lack of better terms, of that service appealed. And right out of the gate, you saw people not just from our church but other churches. Even if they went to their service later on, they were showing up for our service that morning and then leaving. And it was not beyond having 350 to 400 there every single Sunday just for the arbor, just for the arbor service.
Right.
And I remember there were some people that took a hard line stance, said that's just not my style, and I don't want to do, and that's fine. But what you did was you gave people options, and you opened an opportunity for people that outside maybe didn't feel welcome. Now maybe they felt welcomed. And so that I thought was a positive change. The technology thing is a positive change if you allow it to be.
Right.
It can be negative. It can be negative. It should. I think you said something that I'll attribute to in-class learning versus virtual learning. I never was a big fan of online classes in college. That really was starting to happen when I was at the end of my college career, and people could start. And then when I was in grad school, you could take a lot of online classes, but I figured out very quickly that I did a lot better when I drove my butt to the class and sat in there and listened to the teacher. Now others, the online option gave them a chance to go to school, whereas they didn't have a chance because maybe they were raising a family, maybe they had a job they couldn't leave. They had a chance to go to college while they're still working and all. So there's positives to all things if you look at it.
The number one wonderful thing about Cornerstone is we've got both.
That's it.
I mean, we've got both. We don't have to choose.
You got three options. You got in-person arbor, in-person traditional at the sanctuary, or you got online. So you got
three really.
You got three avenues.
And that choice that people have has really been a great thing. I know these last couple of years, it's really been wonderful.
It is.
We didn't have to choose.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. All right, we're up against the break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Inside Cornerstone. Again, thanks to all of you that tune in. I know I've been kind of MIA the last few weeks, been on the road, but glad to be back today and this week. And you can keep up with us if you're watching on TV or online. You see it at the bottom of the screen, the website. If you're listening on radio and would like to check our church out, it's cornerstone-fgmc.org. You can go there and you can check out what we have going on at our church. You can also go online on social media and check us out on Facebook, like our page, and they do a great job of keeping everybody up to date on everything we have going on there. And, I know we're going to talk about some camps and some mission projects coming up here in just a minute, but I think you had a story you'd like to share.
It's we take so much for granted that God is around us, and he actually has some things to say to us. or am I listening?
Are you willing to listen?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question, but this was yesterday.
Okay.
I'm fixing to share yesterday's story.
Nice.
I'm ticked off. Yesterday, I'm not now, Brett, because you're back. You're with us.
I was
I'm
going to
not
say you
ticked
had
off.
it well.
But I got coach in me. I got some perfection type
Right.
things. I like things to be just right and perfect, and usually they are, but this time I didn't feel like they were. And I came up here, and I'm kind of ticked off, and I come walking in, and I'm re-examining, making sure, am I using my time? Well, what do I need to do? Just a bunch of junk, really. Really wasn't that much to it. So I'm sitting in the office there and thinking about stuff that's on my mind, and all of a sudden I hear this, "Hey, Mr. Billy," like that. And I made a deal with the kids at Jacob's Ladder that if they recite the Lord's Prayer, I give them a cross, one of those little wooden crosses about like this. And so I heard the mom out there and said, "Mr. Billy, she's just been dying to say the Lord's Prayer for you." And I said, "Oh, yeah, well, let me get a cross." And beautiful little redheaded girl. And she's looking up at me with those big eyes. And, I've got this ticked off brain,
Right. You're still mad.
And so she starts saying the Lord's Prayer beautifully and stuff, and the tears, man, they start coming down, and I can hear God very clearly saying, "Billy, maybe you should pay attention to this. I mean, what do you think about this right here?" And she got her cross. She was thrilled to death. She hugged my neck, and I said, that's God. I mean,
what
God
you
had
needed.
something to say to me. So we go into our staff meeting. Well, I'm still a little ticked off. And I start telling the staff about what I'm kind of ticked off about.
Right.
And it wasn't them, but it was just situations I wish were better. I got it. Come in. Well, Glenda comes in with 25 10-year-olds that we'll talk about here in a minute, I guess. They come and stand around our table and do a sentence prayer. All 25 of them, beautiful. I mean, we got some sharp kids,
Right.
And they did say, "And here comes Ian." And I said, it's like God is saying, "You thick-headed idiot. Do you hear what I'm trying to say? Did you get it? Are you understanding it?" And this time I got it. And I said, we're so blessed.
Well, and I think I came in here today. I'll be honest. I kind of went on a very similar. I don't guess I got to a level of a rant would be, but
Well, we were all shocked.
I know you were. Yeah, I know you. I've never acted like that before. The displeasure I had with a
Yeah, I
certain
know.
incident. And,
Yeah.
Like kind of like what you're talking
And you were
about.
justified. But
Well, and it's just again, but when you take a step back, you go, hey, you can only do what you can do,
I
and you
know.
have to turn the rest of it
I
over
know.
to the good Lord and let Him handle it.
Yeah.
And you can't worry about it.
Yeah.
You can't control some things that other people are. If it's out of your control, you can't worry about it. I guess is a lack of
let me
better
help you there. Hey, Cain, get some children. Call the children and tell them to come on
I
in.
was expecting
I
the door to open
guarantee you
and
that's
I'll walk in here.
that's going to help. I promise.
Well, and again, I think
I know what you mean, though.
What you said is best. That, and actually, we're again going up there helping Kim move. Somebody came up to us and was talking and saying, and they're working. They said, "How things going?" I said, to be honest with you, I said I have no complaints. I said not comparable to probably some out there, and I said we all can complain. We all can find something to complain
That's
about.
easy.
But in essence, like the first thing is, I'm healthy. Kids are healthy, family's healthy. Praise God for that. I have, a good job, and I have some things that allow me to do the things I need to do to support my family. So in essence, yeah,
Look for the
gonna be-
good.
there's going to be days where things don't go your way.
Yeah,
And
Bible
it's gonna be-
says that. By the way.
and there's going to be,
Yeah.
they may stack up on each other, but at the end of the day, you gotta look at things as opportunities. And I heard somebody say the other day, said, "Well, today I've had a lot of problems and not a lot of solutions, but I'm working on it."
That's a good attitude.
And so just take them one at a time and see what you can do, but rely on God's help.
Oh, yeah.
to help you through it.
Well, I went to the Bible during my little episode. I went to the Bible, and I wanted to go to the part where Paul has thorns in the flesh. And if you look at that scripture, here's what it says. Paul says, "God gave me 3 thorns in the flesh," or thorns in the flesh. God gave them to him.
He gave them to him.
Yeah, and then it says, "I asked 3 times if he would remove them, and he did not." And he said that God gave it to him to humble him. You know, people were bragging on Paul about what he was doing, starting all these churches, and he said, these thorns gave me humility. And it ends, that scripture ends with, when I am weak, then I am strong. Oh, it's great.
You know, I go back, and I know we've talked about Job on here before, and
Talk
just,
about thorns.
well, just one thing after another.
Yeah, right.
And you know, the naysayers out there say, well, if there's a God, why would he put one of his most loyal servants through all of that? And it was to show that it wasn't a show. It was the devil challenging God, saying, look, don't pick somebody that's, you know, pick your most loyal, you know, to do it. And
Right.
he did. And he showed that no matter what he put him through, he stayed true.
That's right. There's purpose behind all our tough times, and there's growth available.
And I think sometimes we, in the moment, don't realize what the true lesson is of the situation we're in.
You know, one of the great lessons of life, you know, me being a former coach and I'm doing, you know, sermons and stuff, is the weight room. You go in there, and the whole purpose of the weight room is to break you down.
That's right.
To make you where you can't hardly walk. If you've done a good job in the weight room, the guys can't hardly get out.
Right.
They're trying to get out of there. But what happens? They become stronger. When you break them down, those muscles build back. And that's why these guys walk around and they're strong as bulls, because they've worked and they've been tested in the weight room.
Speaking of tested, when you do mission work, you get tested. And
Yes.
I know that there's
Few thorns there,
That's
probably.
right. And look, it's a definite calling. And you know,
is.
I remember years ago being in a Sunday school class, and I can't remember who it was that was teaching that particular class. They said, you know, be careful when you ask God about things. He may deliver them. And you know, be careful what you ask for and how you ask. He may deliver it.
You may get it,
And
yeah.
you know, don't say, hey, God, send me wherever you need me, if you ain't willing to go. And again,
point.
when you truly pray that prayer, then you have to be prepared. He may not send you anywhere, but he may send you to the furthest point away from where you are right now. And so when I talk about missions, I hear about mission. I know we have local, and we have international, got all types of different missions. We have an opportunity for people that are going to be traveling.
We do.
And I know you know a little bit more about it, and they're going to be going to Kenya, correct?
That's one of them. You know, missions is about where you go. And we have local missions. We think of a mission sometimes as over in Kenya, and we do have a group going, and we'll talk about it.
Right.
But we also have our children this week are in the middle of a mission camp, and they're going out. And this is a beautiful thing. This is as good a thing as we do out of Cornerstone. These kids, and I talked about them surrounding our table there when we were having our staff meeting, they're going all over this community and walking in there. And well, we're getting calls at the office from people that they went to see. Some of them are in their homes. And they come in there and give them something, and they, older people, they come out with big smiles on their faces. They go to the hospital. They go everywhere in this city. They go to the city hall. They go to the fire trucks and the police department, and they give these people things. The nursing homes, of course, and they made them. They spend some time, and they're good. They look really great. And these kids just eat it up. I'm going to tell you something. Our younger kids, well, our older ones too, our younger kids are what, I mean, I wish I could show pictures of them during the service. I had a lady tell me Sunday, she said, you know, we looked at our 4-year-old, and he was watching and listening to everything you said. And we said, this is where we want to be. We want that. We got 11-year-old kids taking notes on what's being said. These kids are deep. I mean, they know how to pray. They don't mind saying things in front of everybody. So you've got that. Now, the
Right.
Kenya mission is coming up November the 3rd, I think. And they're going to build a Christian college there. And, I mean, there's a lot of Muslim
No, you're building it basically in a Muslim community.
Well, I know the teachers at the public school are all Muslim. Well, this is a Christian private school right in the middle of all that, teaching these kids, about the Bible.
That's a little scary.
Well, yeah, but it's really, we've checked it out really good, and it's pretty safe.
That's good.
Yeah,
Well,
Shireen's going on it.
I know, you said.
There's several people going.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
really, really. How long?
10 days.
10 days. Okay.
I mean, in Africa, that's
That's a long time. So,
yeah, it is. It's beautiful there, though.
Yeah. Can
You're not going to get a tour around here of anything like that.
No. I may ask you a few more questions
Do
about
that,
that when we
please.
come back. All right, up against another break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
Thanks for watching.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Kane's voice is kind of like God. Did you notice? It comes out of here. All right, we're ready now. You ready?
It just comes from all directions.
It's got a lot of authority in
Yeah,
it.
it does. Kane has a lot of authority because all he's got to do is hit a button and cut us off. So it does.
Or put us on.
Or put you on when you don't want to be put on.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey,
Sorry.
we do have a couple segments left in the show today. The final segment will be footage from one of our services. So we do encourage you to stick around for that. But our final segment here together, just one more thing about Kenya. Will they have time built in? I mean, I know they're going over there to help build this school, but will they have are they going to take some tours? Are they going to be able to, or is it
I remember
strictly just?
there will be a trip out into Kenya to look at the wildlife.
That's awesome.
And
where I was going.
that is built in, and these people have done a great job. They've been working on this for a long time. And
How long has the school been underway?
I'd say about 20 years,
The
probably.
school?
And so they've got within it, they've got an orphanage that they take care of kids. And
So are they adding on, or what do they do?
they've got it up. That's a good question. They've got it up through the 8th grade, and now it's time to build. Now, when we say a school, we're
Yeah.
talking about a house.
Right.
And when you talk about Kenya,
you're not talking about
a room.
Yeah.
You're talking about a room.
Yeah, not Benjamin Russell High School. That
No.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to make it where the kids can complete their education. They can get a degree. They can go to college and come back to the community and serve the community. A Christian education. And we saw some shots of their kids singing. You know, they're very talented.
Right.
Very talented. And they're on fire for God.
And that's awesome.
And it's really an awesome concept. And the people that are running it, some of the main supporters are in Clay County. And, you know, everybody in Clay County is a great person. I mean, you know, I love Clay County, but that little church that I pastor called Hatchet Creek Baptist,
Right.
I go out there at 1 o'clock on Sunday after our services. They voted this past Sunday to contribute $5,000 to this program.
Wow.
I mean, this is a little small church. They have a dozen people.
That's
You know,
amazing.
there, and our legacy builders gave them $1,500. The ladies group, Cornerstone Women, gave them $1,500. And out of that group, you know, I went down.
That's 8,000 there.
Yeah, I went to Sylacauga and I do a Bible study on Wednesday mornings. Coach Eddie Varnador, who is at Sylacauga, and I've coached with him. We're great friends. I think he and his wife are probably going to go on this.
Nice.
And so we got some from the church going, I think.
What a great opportunity. And you said that would be in
It starts November the 3rd. It's 10 days.
November the 3rd.
So that's going to pull them back around 15th, 16th of
yeah,
November.
be praying for that.
Before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's good. They need to be here for Thanksgiving.
Sure,
you know.
sure. Well, man, what an awesome opportunity.
I'm proud of that. I think that's a wonderful thing that we're trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. So, yeah, be in prayer for them as they
Yes,
prepare to
please.
do that.
And yes, they're going to bring some good stories back.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I know we talked about this a few times, and I know I've been out for a few weeks, so just tell me you guys discuss this and move on. But I know Jimmy Yates is going to have a wrap-up meeting. Actually, I think maybe next Tuesday or may have been later this week. I don't know, but just a kind of a debriefing on the Project 412 that went off really, really great.
I think everybody was really pleased with 412. You know, it's a difficult thing to organize. You really don't know what you've got until it starts. I mean,
Right.
It's not that you can plan ahead of time, really. And I think it went really well, and I think it will be ongoing. I think there are some goals
Right.
to make it a little bit more ongoing year-round.
Right.
I don't know if we're there yet, but I think that with the success this past one had, it's going to really provide some impetus so that we can do that.
Well, I'd also heard that,
And that's what our young people are doing today,
Yeah,
too.
there's some
It's
people
missions.
wanted
Yeah.
to be involved that couldn't be in the summer months, but maybe could be in the fall.
Oh, yeah, good point.
You know, so
Yeah.
you're getting, you know, a whole new batch of people that can't do it because of the time of year, and then you add another time of year to it, then you bring in a whole nother group.
Well,
So-
missions never ends. We're supposed to be mission oriented in our service to God all the time in our own community. We think of the mission projects that we talk about now just go beyond
Right.
what the individual is supposed to be doing anyway. We have people that come by our church every week, and we try our best to have a system in place where we can help them. Now, we're careful. I mean, I don't mind saying it. You know, it's one thing for me to reach in my billfold and give somebody $10 to go buy some gas, but now I'm not going to do that if I'm in charge of other people's money.
Right.
You know, we got to
Right.
be careful. We got to do it the right way, but we are trying to do it the right way. You know, on Thursdays we have Feast of Sharing. I mean, there's a lot more missions out there
Yes.
that we
Well,
we don't talk
Well,
about.
Again,
you know,
missions don't have to be international.
No,
You know, there's a
no.
lot of missions that go on weekly here in our community that you may not know about, or that you're watching for the first time, or
Yeah.
hearing about for the first time that you would like to be involved with.
Oh, yeah.
And so, do we have and let me ask this question because I don't know it off the top of my head. Do we have a tab on our website that lists all the things that people can be involved with? If we don't, that might be something that we need to add.
Yeah, I don't think so. We talked about this at our finance meeting last night. We have a couple of categories, but we could utilize that more. But, you know, it's a little bit more like, take the Cornerstone women. So you got 40 ladies coming in their meeting, and they want to do a service project, a mission project. And so they do it. You follow me?
Exactly.
It's not what we probably do need is a catch-all fund for missions so people can contribute. And
Right.
we look in there and we say, well, there's $10,000 in that. Well,
Right.
this group wants to use 2,000 of it. Let's vote. Do we
Well,
do
and-
that?
and
you know,
I
that's what
definitely-
you're talking about. I think.
No, that's not.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
What I'm saying is list everything that we do.
We do, okay.
And somebody might go, I'd like to be involved in that.
Oh yeah, that's a good
and
idea.
but you can
Yeah.
contribute monetarily to all missions.
Yeah.
And the finance committee could decide how it all breaks down. But I'm just saying list Feast of Sharing, list,
Yeah.
Project 412, list, whatever. And people go, okay, if they're not familiar with our church, they could pull that
Mm-hmm.
up and say, yeah, I'd like to do that. How often does that take place? Well, Feast of Sharing's every week at this time.
They're
Well,
not-
I'd love to show up and do that.
That's right.
So you just find help.
I announced a couple of Sundays about Feast of Sharing needed some help picking up the
Right,
food.
right.
We had 4 people
There
that
you go.
jumped in there, and they're just excited to know they've got enough manpower that they can
Right.
take some shifts.
Right.
And not put it all off on one
Right.
person.
Well, it's
So, I
also
mean,
like you might poll people in our church and they
Mm-hmm.
don't even know what the 13th man is. Well, the 13th man's a group of us that opens the church and locks it up
Yeah.
on a given Sunday. We're responsible
Rotate,
for
yeah.
we're on a rotation, and I know we just added some more guys. I noticed Steve Fuller sent an email out.
I think I had 4, and he was showing around 4 guys Sunday.
Well, he added
Yeah.
them to the list.
And
so-
we're going to need some, just for interest's sake, since we're talking about it, we're going to need some people to be trained in running the technology that we're fixing to buy
there you
into
go.
for the Arbor service.
and they're in there.
And I
There's a
think
lot
there's
of-
some that'll do that.
Oh,
yeah.
100%. And
Yeah.
would love to do it. That would be their way of
Yeah.
probably giving back and being involved in the service where
Then you don't burn out the same people.
yeah,
You
everybody's got
rotate it.
different talents and
That's right.
and things that they can bring to the table. So,
course.
all right. So I know we're close to the end of the show or end of this segment, and we got a clip of our service coming up next. Just real quick, what the services that you've been talking about? You're continuing with the 10 Commandments.
We are. The Arbor started with 10 and went up, and the Green Street started with the first one and went down, and they met last Sunday,
about
5 and 6,
Met.
which is honor your father and mother, and thou shalt not kill. Today, they'll swap that as they continue to go down and up, and so we'll be doing the same 2 at the opposite services from last week, and it's been a challenge. I have loved it. It's been real. I get up here with the 10 Commandments. I've been getting up here about 5 o'clock in the morning, and I've been going over everything, and because I want to see the bigger picture. None of these commandments are literally the worldly thing. Thou shalt not kill. Okay. But Jesus said, you've heard it said, thou shalt not kill. And I say, don't even get angry with your neighbor. That's like breaking that commandment too. There's different ways to murder. And some of it is, and in every case, is spiritual. The real meaning of these is spiritual.
Right.
And that's been fun. And a lot of people walked out and say, I really enjoyed that. I hadn't thought about that one,
Well,
and,
I
it's
think-
been fun, though.
I think a lot of times with the 10 Commandments, and I remember being in Bible school at a young age and learning the 10 Commandments and all that. I think it's very rare, and this may be the first time in my life that I've been a part of something where you dive into them like
Yeah.
this. We
Me
did
too, by the way.
we did a study on the Lord's Prayer
Mm-hmm.
several years ago. I led that. It was based off Dr. David Jeremiah's interpretation.
Well, you can't
of-
go wrong there.
Well, no, I really used. I listened to his services on the Lord's Prayer probably 5 or 6 times, and really kind of soaked that in and used that time, in my office at home to do my Sunday school lessons, and we broke it down. He broke it down line by line, so I did the same and used his bullet points, which he did a phenomenal job
he's very
and
good.
opened the discussion. But I think the 10 Commandments is the same way. We get in a habit of regurgitating the Lord's Prayer, just saying it repetitiously, and not thinking about really what it means. And the same with Ten Commandments. Oh, there's the Ten Commandments: Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery.
And they are the foundation of our judicial system today in America.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we just take them for granted a lot of times.
Oh,
so it's neat to be able to do that.
It is.
We just got the light, so that means we got to get the break.
It's always sad.
It is. We've had a great show today, but we got one more segment coming up. Everybody stay tuned right after this.
God bless you.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com, today.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Today we're going to be talking about some things that have political meaning to them. All I'm going to do is to give us something to think about. You will make your choices in that area of life, and sometimes they might be different from mine. And if they are, that's fine. You have that right. But we're not going to sit here and bicker or argue. We're going to take the Word of God, and we're going to kind of look at some things and some of the implications of this commandment. It comes from Exodus 20:13. We all know it, and I will be doing honor your father and mother up in Green Street. Nothing against you guys. I can't wait to be there. Because this was not easy. You shall not commit murder. May God add His richest blessing to his life, to the reading of this word. May everything I say, everything we think be to glorify Christ as always. Let us pray. Thou shalt not commit murder. Where do we start? I think the first place we start is in Genesis, where God has brought all the animals by, good ones. They've taken a look at them, and it seems like that the creation of the world is going absolutely perfect. And as they come by one, God decides that He will put somebody in charge of all of this creation that He has done. And so we go to Genesis 1:27, where God says He created man in His own image. In the image of God, He made them. Male and female, He made them. The first place we have to start on this commandment is that we are created in God's image. We live in a time now, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, where you can get in a lot of trouble if you don't treat an animal right. Well, I love animals. And for all you people that think I'm a cat catcher to help out Jacob's Ladder, well, yes, we did. We did catch some cats, but we took them to a farm in Phoenix City where last time we saw them, they were frolicking with rats in their mouth all over the place. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a dog person, but I mean, I love cats. I had cows at one time in my life, and though I'm a hunter and a fisherman, I have great respect for animals. I like animals. But let me say something. But animals are not humans. They are not created in God's image. God is the creator, of course, but animals are not in charge. Unfortunately, some animals have more rights than babies do. And we'll talk about that just a little bit later. But the first thing we have to recognize is that God is the creator, and we were made in the image of God. At the end of this service, I hope everyone, any service that we have, is free to use these altars. And you can come down anytime you like. You can come down right now if you want to. But we come down to this altar and we make a commitment to God in our life that we want to follow Christ. We want to be forgiven of our sins. And we want to follow Christ. We deserve death, but we don't get it. And the reason we don't get it is because Christ died for us on the cross. He didn't die for the dogs, and he didn't die for the cats or the cows. He died for man, men and women who were made in his image. So we have to start this whole conversation, I think, right there. We're in God's image. The second part of that is that all people are worthy. All people have value. And God cares about all people, everybody, everyone. So the correct word I think that we should use is that all lives matter. All lives matter. Because when Christ died on the cross, he died for every living human being, whether they be in this service or in prison. He died for them so that they could be forgiven of their sins. There is great value when you say that God gave his only son for any person. What kind of value is that on it? Jesus Christ died for every single person, so there's values. Now, before we go any further with that, let's talk about the Hebrew word. A lot of Bibles will say, thou shalt not kill. The Hebrew Bible, or the Quran, or the Old Testament, the New Testament, they use the word, instead of the word kill, they use the word rasak. There's actually 7 words in the Jewish language that mean kill, but rasak is the one that's actually used, and it means murder. It doesn't mean thou shalt not kill. It means thou shalt not murder. So they changed it. And the key word that we're going to talk about for a few minutes is the word justified. This is the whole question about thou shalt not murder, or thou shalt not kill, whatever version you're using. Some of them still say thou shalt not kill. But the whole thing is about justified. What is justified and what is not? Now, we have a farm in Clay County, and so I took a couple of the grandkids. I don't know if the two here today will remember this or not, because it was several years ago, but we got in the mule and we rode down into the bottoms, and we were checking some pictures. We have pictures down there to see all the animals that come through and stuff like that. We go down there, and I look at the picture. And 20 minutes before we arrived down in the bottoms on our mule with the 2 grandkids sitting in the back seat, I had a picture of an extremely mature and large black bear that was laying down in our bottoms before we got there. I began to show the two grandkids that were with me that day what that was, and one started to cry. One said, "Can we go back to the house now?" And so, it was pretty scary. I don't want to fight one either, but there it was. So I've got some buddies that are conservationists, and we were talking one day. I said, "Let me show you this picture," and I showed them the picture of this big male black bear that was down in our bottoms. I said, "Now, what do I do about that?" I said, "Well, every time we come to the farm, we got our grandkids with us." "Well, what's that?" He says, "Well, he said, what are you talking about? Can you kill it?" I said, "Well, I might be. It depends on what kind of mood he's in, But he said, "No, you can't kill it." I said, "Sir, I'm sorry. I most certainly can kill it. If I've got my two grandkids down there in that bottom field, and that bear decides it wants to do some fighting where it's got a very big advantage, I'm going to shoot it." He said, "Well, you better document what you're doing and make sure you've got everything done the right way, because you're going to pay a fine and go to jail if you do that." And I said, "Okay." I did a little research on that, by the way, and there is types of bears in this country that if you were to go up and, let's say, murder them, you're going to pay $50,000 in 1 year in prison. Now, I love bears. When I go to the Smokies, I love the bears, right? But this particular one I'm talking about, I think, is Wyoming. And if you actually murder, we're going to use that word, that bear, $50,000 and a year in prison. Like I said, all I'm doing is giving you things to consider. And here's one of them. In 2023, 1,037,000 abortions were done. 1,037,000 abortions were done in America in 2023. Now, if you murder a bear, you're going to pay a $50,000 fine, and you're going to go to prison for a year. Just consider it. The word is justified, justifiable. Now, I'm not here to influence anybody. I'm simply here to take a look at this scripture, "Thou shalt not murder." That's all. But the question on all the things that we're fixing to talk about is what is justifiable and what is not. And on that particular issue, if rape is involved, I understand that. That certainly has some justifiable characteristics in it. I get that. If the mother's life is in danger, it has a tremendous amount of justifiable elements to it. I totally understand that. But to say I changed my mind, I'm not sure, as we think about it, that that's justifiable for murder. So there's one of them. You want to get off that one right quick? I do. Why don't we go to some more examples of that? Let's go justifiable homicide. I'm going to tell you the straight out truth. If I had a gun in my hand right now, and some guys walked in the back of this church with guns in their hands, and they made it clear that they were going to shoot you, I would shoot them. I would shoot them before they could shoot you. I used to tell that to my classes when we were talking about that in class, about how murder and killing sometimes is very conflicted. But I'm not going to, if I had the opportunity, I'm not going to allow somebody to kill an innocent person. I think I'm justifiable. And I think the law which is based on the Ten Commandments in this country, would say that is justifiable homicide. You had a reason for doing it, as opposed to sitting back and doing nothing and allowing a mass murder to take place among kids and friends and family and things like that. Here's another one. Capital punishment. Just a little thought on that. When Jesus created Adam and Eve, he put them in the garden. And he said, do not eat of any fruit of any of these trees except that one. Now, if you eat the fruit of that tree, you will die. Now, here we're not talking about physical death. We're talking about spiritual death. I think that's pretty obvious because they're going to eventually get kicked out of the garden. And there's some things that's going to happen as a result of that. But they knew exactly what was going to happen if they ate the fruit of that tree. And they ate the fruit of that tree. So it's very clear what homicide is in this country and what killing an innocent person is all about. And I would contend, just me, my opinion is not worth anything, they brought the consequences on themselves. God has said to us, if we accept His Son as our Savior, this is the consequence. But He also says, and I don't preach on this much, probably won't hear this for a while, because that's not really my style. But He also says, but if you don't do this, there are consequences of that too. So the concept of God hurling people into hell because they simply did not obey what He said, I don't buy into that. I think that is a loving God that loves His creation, that everybody is important, and He would give anything that they not make that decision. As a matter of fact, He sent His Son to die on a cross so we would not have those consequences in our life. And yet we still decide that we want to follow a life that doesn't have Christ in it. We simply get the consequences of our choices.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.